What's up guys, Luis here from Yugatech. So you recently got interested into building your own PC and you see that one of the main things that you need is a graphics card or a GPU. You go online, you go to either Shopee or Lazada, and one of the very first listings that comes up is a GPU called the Aisurix RX 580 GPU. And then you see the price and you tell yourself, oh, that seems super reasonable. Not only that, you see that there are a ton of positive reviews. But you catch yourself and ask, wait a minute, who is Aisurix? Is that brand reliable? Am I getting scammed? So you give the RX 580 a last look and you start scrolling, looking for more well-known brands like Asus, Nvidia, and other graphics cards. And then you see the zeros at the end of each price tag seemingly adding on as you scroll, and you say, what was that Aisurix GPU again? If you're like me, you probably don't have tens of thousands of pesos to spend on a GPU. You just want a GPU that works, can play games, and doesn't break after just a few weeks of use. That's why in this video, we'll be taking a look at the Aisurix RX 580 GPU, a GPU coming from a relatively unknown brand that has a really alluring price tag. But is that price cut worth it? Let's find out in our quick review. As a lesser-known brand, we do think it's super important that we show you what you get inside of the box after you order the RX 580. This is especially since we saw a few people online trying to ask around whether it was actually safe to order since, it's not coming from a very well-known brand. So we have the RX 580's box right in front of us. It's a bit scuffed up, but it's okay. It has pretty cool graphics on top. The back, it seems like mostly markedly fluff, and unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be much information on the graphics card. The only indication that you have that you bought the RX 580 is that there's a tag at the bottom. But I guess that's not something that we should be too surprised on given the price that we're paying for, which we'll get into a bit. Opening the box, we have a well-packaged graphics card, well-protected. You have manual here, a quick start manual, which again doesn't have much information on the RX 580 itself. Overall though, for something that is budget, the graphics card is pretty well protected. In terms of specs, the GPU we have here is based on the 14nm process with 1286 MHz clock speed, 5 monitor support output which includes 1 DVI, 3 DisplayPort 1.4a, and 1 HDMI 2.0. It also has 8GB of DDR5 RAM, clocking in at 1750 MHz, with a bus interface that uses a PCI Express 3.0 x16 interface. The listed price of the Aisurix RX 580 is around 8,000 to 10,000 pesos on both Shopee and Lazada. But you can actually find it now at both sellers for 4,400 to 4,700 price, which is almost half of the original SRP. Now let's move on to performance and benchmark. Unfortunately, we weren't able to extensively test the RX 580 with a bunch of different games. Now, this is because there has been a lot of new tech coming into the new year, and we wanted to cover all of that for you. So you should definitely check out all of our latest videos and articles and reviews. But we did want to make sure to put out a quick video on the RX 580 since we feel that it provides a really good value for those who want a decent GPU at a low price. With that, let's get on to some benchmarks. On 3D Mark, the RX 580 scored a respectable 2,814 in the first strike Ultra score, with a graphics score of 2,766, a physics score of 20,576, and a combined score of 1,301. The 580 got an estimated performance of 45 frames per second on 3D Mark's virtual gameplay of Battlefield 5 at 1440p Ultra settings, which is not bad for a GPU worth around 5,000 pesos. On 3D Mark's Time Spy score, the 580 got a really good 4,067. It also got a 3,718 for graphics and an 8,667 for CPU score. While these scores definitely won't blow anyone away, we have to understand how much performance we're getting here per peso that we're paying. Per our testing, we found no issues with the RX 580, and it was absolutely usable with our 1080p PC setup. For a budget price GPU, the specs and performance we're getting here is more than okay for what you're paying for. To conclude, the RX 580 is actually a really good board for those who aren't looking to play games at 4K with displays that have 144 refresh rates, or those who want to play the latest and greatest AAA titles at max settings. If you just want a serviceable GPU on a budget for your starter PC, or you just need a card that can play older to relatively modern PC games at 1080p max, the RX 580 is actually a really good option at 4,500 pesos to around 6,000 pesos. We do have to note though that you're sort of taking a risk with choosing a lesser known brand such as Aisurix. But with our testing and based on the community reviews on the GPU itself, it looks like longevity, reliability, and durability won't be much of a problem if you decide to purchase this GPU. For those of you looking for a GPU on a budget, we definitely say go for it. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button and leave us a comment down below if you have other PC components that you want us to check out. Also, be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our latest videos. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok too. And don't forget to visit yugatech.com for more of your favorite tech news and reviews. Again, this has been Luis of Yugatech, signing off.